Grand rising, grand afternoon, grand evening, or grand rest, wherever you are, whenever you tune in. Welcome back, and thank you so very much for tuning in, beloved multiversal soul familia. Here we are, back again with day 5, step 5 of 6 steps towards joy with others. Before we get started, I'm going to light the sage. Down to my last nub here. It's time to restock. And I thought I was going to have the funds to get some more palo and sage. But due to some recent spontaneity, those funds had to be utilized elsewhere. Either way, it's all going to work out in the end. I already know it will. I know that our Creator always provides in some kind of way. And as this channel continues to grow and develop, eventually we will reach a point where we can be monetized. Which brings us right back around to step number 5 in these 6 steps towards joy with others. Step number 5 is responsibility, beloveds. If we take responsibility for our words, actions, and motives and experiences, we will not blame others for our problems and thus empower ourselves to solve them. Self-awareness comes from gently critiquing ourselves to determine where our actions are violating others or are otherwise ineffective. Replace blame with compassion, humility, and effective action to reclaim your power to create joy. And beloveds, I must share that since I began doing these mini-series, both the first one with 6 steps towards joy, and then the second one, 6 steps towards joy with others, I can already feel the difference in myself and in my own life, both personal and professional. And as we go through these exercises and read these questions aloud, just simply by reading them out loud is like affirming them, validating them, even though it's unnecessary to validate, to make it more real and tangible, obtainable, making each of these steps a goal on our soul's mission and journey. We feel more motivated and inclined, driven even, to take action, to engage with effective action. Of course, with this step, there are also lingering questions. With every step, there are lingering questions, but they only linger until we give them effective attention. Then that attention evolves into effective action. The first question with step number 5 is, am I acting responsibly or am I blaming others? The next question to follow is, am I allowing others to use blame as a way to control or manipulate me? Not anymore. Not up in here. Never again. Never again. Followed once again by yet another question. How can I take responsible action in handling my quote-unquote stuff? Beloveds, do you know your true place in relation to these multiverses and the environments around you? Because that question will lead us into day 6 and step number 6, which we will go over tomorrow morning. Now let's go into the Starseed Oracle for some insights and teachable moments in how we can take responsibility for our words, actions, motives, and experiences. There's one. We just need 2 more cards. 2 more. 1 more. 1 more card. Okay, that was a full pass without any results. And that was a second full pass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach right here to this card that is sticking out the furthest of them all. And then that will be our 3rd card for this session. And here we go. And card number 1 is pertaining to responsibility for our words, actions, motives, and experiences. We have the Cosmic Heart. And now I know, thanks to some feedback, that you aren't big fans of, some of you aren't big fans of me zooming in, but we're going to do it anyway. We have the Cosmic Heart, potency, and make your life a moving prayer. Make your life a moving prayer. All right, now we're going to actually zoom back out. Brace yourselves. Four more on the Cosmic Heart. making our life a moving prayer. But first, now we're kind of sliding things around just a bit. There we go. So trying to move the card out and away from the glare coming from the overhead light. Good enough. Good enough, George. When you surrender to a state of devotion, you find yourself flowing with all of life. You're being called to refocus your attention deep within, to the intelligence of your own heart, to bow with deep reverence to your inner temple, to live your life in devotion to this place, to make your life one big, moving prayer. Perhaps you felt a bit off kilter lately, sensing that the potency of why you're doing things has gotten a little watered down or weak. Perhaps you've forgotten what made you start doing them in the first place. If so, this is your call to take a moment and reconnect with the truth of the very center of your heart. To reconnect with the very center point of your heart. To get back to the essence of what you're about. To devote your life to what you care most about. To turn your gaze deep, 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 deep. There are seasons for harvesting and seasons for sowing. Right now, you're being called to plant your soul's seeds and sing to them with deep devotion. To feed them with the sweet waters of your own soul. To lose yourself in the potency of what it is that most expands your heart. To live your life according to what makes you come alive rather than what everyone else thinks. To make your life one big, moving prayer. Beloveds, in doing so, there is no need to obsess over responsibility for our words, actions, motives, and experiences, nor blame others. Instead, we empower ourselves to be the troubleshooters and the problem solvers by acting responsibly and no longer allowing others to use blame or anything else they thought they could dig up on you or us or whomever to extort or manipulate. Never, ever again will that happen. Never again. By making our life a moving prayer in devotion and potency to that inner temple, we are taking responsibility. even when it doesn't look that way to others, due to a limited mindset and limited potential on their part of what it even truly means. To be self-aware. To check ourselves at the door, beloveds. To check ourselves at the door of the inner temple and more. In this inner temple, we're called to be a devoted student, tuning in to our hearts, beloveds, incorporating true devotion. All of the answers to all of the questions that we seek are waiting for us in the portal of our heart. Waiting for us to show up to our soul with rhythm. Being guided to develop a daily practice where we fill up our well and spend time with our soul. We cannot hear the answers if we do not carve out time each day to listen. And our soul is yearning for a deeper relationship with us. The more time that we spend with it and show up to it, the more clearly it guides us. We are here to grow as souls. Earth is one big playground for the soul to learn. We're being called to go deeper in our soul growth, or to increase our devotion by being a student of a lineage or a spiritual teacher. And just know, when the student is ready, the guide will appear. If you've already been a committed student, you're being commended for your devotion, and your guides want you to know how proud of you they are, and that the time you spend in devotion is priceless. If you're questioning your vocation or life path, your guides want you to turn your focus towards devotion and being that moving prayer. Dear guides, please use us in a way that delights our mind, body, and soul, and may our life be one big, moving prayer. And although there is no such thing as the void, so to speak, we have the void card reminding us to stop and even embrace winter, the great cosmic womb. And we are either going through the harshest point of winter at this time, or in other parts of the world preparing for the next winter. So let's see what the void has to say in terms of being that moving prayer of devotion and potency, taking responsibility for our words, actions, motives, and experiences. When we embrace the season we are in, it's where all life begins and ends. It's the winter and the womb, the fertile darkness where all things originate and all seeds grow. Comforting and intimidating, freeing and daunting. It can feel both overwhelmingly small and huge. The void is where faith lives. The message of the void is to surrender to the unknown. We're not speaking on an actual physical void or a phantom anomaly, as some would misinterpret the representation of the void. And the void is the unknown, beloveds. That's it. Nothing more to it. A place where we go to allow the fertile darkness of nothingness to nourish the new seeds growing within us, regardless of whether we know what they'll one day become. We're being called to surrender to the mystery of what's next, to embrace the unknown, to rest and to allow the winter of our life to do the work for us, to hand over our control and trust that just because we can't see what's happening beneath the surface, it doesn't mean things aren't at work. The greatest weavings happen when we find a way to surrender and trust that our life is being knitted for us right beneath the surface, in ways known and unknowable. Now is the time to cultivate faith and allow deep, deep rest. That message has been coming to me recently, seemingly from every direction. Interestingly enough, it's from a place of love by loved ones. And I'm in no mood to rebel, so I've been listening. I have been getting that extra rest. Also, being more laser and pinpoint focused on a sleep schedule so that I can be more, how would I put it? More respecting of boundaries, be it my own as well as others. Being more responsible. Reclaiming our power to create joy in our waking moments. The void often surfaces at the end of a chapter or a life phase when we're called to let go of all that we know and identify with. And just be okay with not knowing, beloveds. This isn't a race to the finish line. There isn't any need to, quote unquote, know the outcome before we get to doing something. Or In these moments of deep rest, we may begin to feel a bit restless, as if we should be doing something. However, when this card appears, it's a sure sign that the most productive thing to do is relinquish control and surrender to the changing mysteries of our lives. The inquiry for this card is, how are you being called to surrender to the unknown mystery of your life? And the final card for this message is double mission. We're going to zoom in one more time so that you can see the print. Lightworker, starseed, serve the world by being you. Just by being you. Now we're going to back it up again. Now that double vision song is going through my head, just the chorus. This double mission has us seeing double vision. Feeling a little bit torn and twisted. Yes, many have the feeling that time's running out. Beloveds, I'm here to remind you, time is not running out. Again, this is not a race to the finish line. So, let's transmute that urge to race into a loving embrace of this collective mission that we are uncovering and remembering. Being more purpose, mission oriented. We know that there's something we came here to do, to create and contribute. Here to grow as souls individually on our individual mission, mission 1, and also to contribute to the planet in some action-oriented way, which is mission 2, the collective mission. Often answered through a career calling or by devoting our lives to something bigger. And then as we remember this collective mission, it will feel as if something's missing or that we are forgetting something important. But alas, it's common for us as light workers, light warriors, spiritual badasses over here, starseeds, to feel that we're different and carry out soul memories around being visible and sharing our voices. As such, we may protect ourselves by dimming our light in order to fit in, or by spending time in some sort of closet, a spiritual closet. We're being called to remember our collective mission and step into it even more fully. Being reminded that our role as a light worker is to light up the world with our presence. This doesn't have to be a great big thing or a decision we need to make. We also don't need to have a great big plan. If you resonate with being a light worker, all you need to do is work out what lights you up, your passions and joys, and just keep doing that. And when you trust and follow the simple path of things that light you up and then lose yourself in the doing, you will light up the world without even trying. And the activation with this double mission card is, how can you serve the world? Simply by being you. 30:30 on the timer. Let's check in on that angel number. 30:30. A positive sign from our divine source, encouraging personal growth, spiritual development, and self-expression. Creative self-expression. Balance and embracing new beginnings. A reminder to continue to express ourselves authentically. Encouraging us to start focusing more deeply on a spiritual life, enabling us to get closer to that divine realm. So, if you're listening in and you have not necessarily been on a spiritual path, but you feel this urgency and longing to be more deeply connected with some kind of initiative or cause, now is the time to do so. Because 30:30 is enabling us to tackle all these both stressful and non-stressful moments in our lives. Trust in your guides to teach you how to pray and meditate properly, as well as these practices may be useful, beneficial, and certainly of some value to you, especially during this time. Focusing on how you can express yourself as an individual. The way you say yourself is brilliant, and it will bring you closer to achieving your goals. To not be afraid of anyone and speak your mind at any time. Being more commended for not being scared of expressing feelings openly and publicly. This number not only helps us by encouraging us to focus more on a spiritual life, as it will enable us to get closer to the divine realm. It would also help if we began our spiritual life to elevate our life to a higher level. Initially, we are hesitant, but our guides will help us achieve the spirituality we so desire, focusing on these spiritual pursuits that will make us proud of all the efforts that we're making towards becoming better people in all aspects of our lives. Tune your mind to the divine realm and your guides. No one and no thing will be hindering us any longer from achieving our heart's desires. The multiverses are picking positive energies for us every time because we believe in staying optimistic no matter the situation. Using our positivity to ensure that we express everything we want, in tune with our thoughts, ensuring that everything that comes from our mind is positive, and not allow negative energies to be a routine part of our lives. In terms of love, we've gone through a lot of challenges that have tried our relationships. Yet here we are continuing to emerge from the same victorious and divine realm, acknowledging our patience and perseverance. Our romantic affairs will now only get better as time goes by. We will enjoy a renewed connection, and better days are coming. The worst has already passed, and great things are coming our way. The hard times and sacrifices that we have made are paying off. We've been tested to see if we love one another and if we're going to stick around. And we've braved the hard times, strengthening our bonds. The type of bonds that are both envied and admired by many. A happy, fulfilled, and peaceful life by embracing a positive attitude, hard work and determination, maintaining balance and stability, even with our family, between our personal life and our professional life. Finding a vocation or holding on to a vocation that will not take all of our time. One that enables us to actually spend more time with our loved ones. Focusing on more than just one aspect of our lives. Life will continue to be well for us as we learn how to balance everything. Stability will go a long way in enabling us to form a greater bond with our loved ones. The 0 in 3030, interestingly enough, is encouraging us to see that by being this moving prayer, this is how we can make ourselves more robust and help us to be more motivated in getting our life on track as much as possible. Approaching all parts of our lives that matter to us with honesty and integrity. No longer chasing the dreams that make us feel the most fulfilled, beloveds. We are the dream. It is us. Showing gratitude towards the parts of our lives that will help us through the most complex parts of our journey. And even when it may seem difficult, to be grateful for even the complex aspects of our lives. Putting our time and intention on the right things. Making sure that we see that our mind stays in the present. As much as possible. Accepting these changes, welcoming them, as they will make our lives better, continuing to believe in ourselves. Great things come our way. Do not hesitate to make the best of your life when the opportunity presents itself, beloveds. Change is inevitable, and there's nothing we can do to stop the same. All we can do is accept that things are changing in our lives, and we need to change, making the best out of these changes. It's time to give our guides their audience and be thankful for all the blessings being sent our way. Appreciation for everything in our lives will draw loads of positive energies our direction. And we're lucky as spirits, sweethearts, we have the backing of the multiverses to make those dreams a reality. 3030 confirms that we have a tremendous direct connection with our divine creator. Being urged to use our creativity in order to advance in life. This is not the time to be ruining these privileges by letting our dreams go. We will no longer be quitting on ourselves, especially when we are about to achieve so much more with the combined energies of these numbers. The power and vibrations of creativity, practicality, positivity, enthusiasm, hard work, inner strength, and confidence. We can add all of this to step number 5 in 6 steps towards joy with others. Taking responsibility for our words, actions, motives, and experiences. Beautiful. The 0 also signifies the character of God. New beginnings, the ending of some chapters in our lives. But this is also a number with profound mystery. A sign of circularity and great spirituality. The more positive we are, the more we inspire people around us to be like that. Thanking our Creator for all the blessings we have in our lives. You don't have to be a religious person to pray or to learn how or to know how to pray. Our guides will always be there for us to guide, support, and assist us in any way. All you have to do is call them for help. My goodness. A sign our spiritual life is dwindling, and it's time for us to work on our spirituality and make the best. Through this awakening and spiritual journey, we will be able to work on our life, spiritually urging us to seek the indulgence of the divine realm on our spiritual journey. And it's not easy to make positive changes in our lives, but the time has come to welcome such changes. We're being guided and helped with choices that are going to impact our progress in a better way. Also, portraying the greatness of our health. We're given a chance to overcome limiting thoughts that may have altered our steps. Find the chance to change your life for good. And see that nothing affects how we operate. It's time to expand our territory. Even our love matters. There is an urgency to come into the limelight. To continue on pursuit of our spiritual path and letting nothing opt us out of the goals we have, but also maintaining a bit of leeway that will be the source of those seed codes and light codes and good ideas for creative self-expression, pushing ourselves even more so for something unique. We do not have to allow negative things to happen. Instead, allow our inner voice to direct us on what to do and consider positive influences. Interlinking ideas to bring out the best results should be our priority. Picking some goals that we're sure will help eliminate anything that does not work. Using our inner strength to check on flexible opinions from others that we may even require. And this requires us to foster a win-win atmosphere, beloveds, of mutuality, boundaries, and reverence for others, while also maintaining a high level of patience. The creative spark, being that heart of discovery and enthusiasm, free from the burdens of the convention. A fire that fuels our transformation and transmutation. And beloveds, I do believe that concludes this session. So thank you so very much for tuning in. With much gratitude and appreciation. If you made it this far, you are a rock star. And I will see you again in the next one, coming up soon. Brightest blessings.